several weeks grieving part of his wake at her family's house on Christmas Day, creating a video montage of pictures and played at a rap. It wasn't until this year the facts finally went to trial, and it took nearly 5 weeks. So guilty. They sentenced him to life in requirement that he served 30 years before chance at judge saying, Stephen McCullough, you committed a brutal, senseless murder. You planned this murder. Senseless detail. You would someone confess to love and a frenzied assault is characterized by its excessive and gratuitous violence. That despite that, the killing was cold. It's evidenced by the extensive planning leading up to they sentenced him to death. So not only served 30 years as much as you can, Stephen facing justice, but Stephen just admitted us, but like said he went, you pricked them as murder. In detail, you would someone confess to love and a frenzied assault is characterized by its excessive and gratuitous violence. That despite that, the killing was cold.
You were second off down there, so at each other.
So guilty as much as you can, Stephen facing justice, but Stephen just admitted us, but like said he went, you pricked them as murder. In detail, you would someone. He also had Natalie's brother, directly Natalie herself, outside of the court the day that the verdict came down.
Natalie, expression. Happened to you, Natalie. Greatest joy.
Since then, the part of Stephen's life sentence, I mean, it has been far from comfortable. In fact, sources inside of the high security prison held saying that this guy has a giant target for his fellow inmates, saying he's even earned himself the title of most hated man in prison. But not necessarily Natalie, but source saying it's one thing the prisoner being innocent children. Some of the worst attacks used from understand that the human side means staff safety at risk to intervene for the likes of them. Because McCullough murdered a pregnant woman, falls into that category. So reportedly, they see him as a massive security risk. He's a separate wing away from the other residential units. And with that, you had another unnamed source saying the other prisoners joke that it's for the squealers and feelers, which is pedophiles, and they aren't far. In reality, it's segregation without any punishment. And now it does seem like that situation is a way to get out because the public prosecution service implied that lodged an appeal against the sentence. So he's taken his family and you had a brother Declan. That he would do it speaks to his hideous nature. Then his behavior since that, he put us all through a horrific trial despite all the overwhelming evidence. Again, he expects to appeal and get the sentence reduced. And that they're going to sentence again. The way the sentence should be going is up. It's just completely re-traumatizing for the whole family. So now, see what happens. Success, though. Me personally, just my opinion, should know that. Then, next up on the news, let's talk about Matt's new focus, and that is birth. As you saw, or yesterday's show, because he tuned in every day, the Supreme Court got down to suffer get rid of citizenship, with the majority ruling U.S. students who are here lawfully or technically, they're still, in fact, U.S. citizens at birth. Well, this just affirmed that a constitutional amendment still counts. The way things keep continuing. Start out. Supreme Court greenlit birth. It's a pregnant woman traveling so that their baby is a citizen. Well, you know, it's in place. It's really stoking up fear mongering immediately after the decision came. So, for example, you get people like Walsh saying it's invincible that a pregnant woman in Guatemala can sprint across the U.S. border, maybe 30% of her arriving here, and the baby is magically a citizen of the U.S. So honestly, I would say if you can find 30 minutes away from a neighbor that is able to sprint citizenship, maybe we want maybe a world. Also, I will say, you know, Walsh was far from alone. You would think saying pregnant. He saw things like Davis, the founder of the family, was writing a sort of manifesto and respond to the court's ruling with steps like deny entry to pregnant foreign email require sterilization of all foreign visitors prior to entry. Also had people like Soviets saying, well, said we can't mandate spot pregnancy tests before due to Daily Wire. So must start all four immediately and begin attaching pregnancy tests to visa requirements. Tennessee Representative Andy Ogle saying that it's introducing the Anchors Pay Act to ban pregnant aliens from entering the USA.
If you are pregnant, you can't in this country. You got to be a citizen here. You have to be.
So that's Senator Scott who's for that safe. It's serial nations using American surrogates to obtain U.S. citizenship for their children. Also, a certain White House news saying,
if a person comes here 9 months pregnant to go some things in a couple of weeks, that is the mother, time American citizen, and a direct line into American cash and welfare for the rest of that child. So you have to saying, Jesse, is that you have to now think carefully about who you let into your country, even on a temporary basis. There's a lot of things we're going to have to take a hard look at, Jesse.
and this morning, even DHS Secretary Mark Mullen tried to spin a restriction that says something to
Doing is looking at the territories where China especially is abusing and places and saying, okay, it's pregnant, maybe you shouldn't get up. Because where they go to and they show up, it can cause that health issue. The mother, yes, and especially traveling that way.
And then while you have all of this playing, you also have some kind of shock. Is this sort of massive reaction? This massive meltdown. For example, one is writing, it is absolutely bizarre that these people believe continued application of a rule existed for generations. We've grown the most powerful, prosperous free nation. Somehow, national democracy so clearly wrong, need to end the union. Here's the thing. Is a real thing. It's hard to spread it. Because you have to explain it. Babies born on American soil, but it's you did a Center for Immigration Studies. Crackdowns estimating that it's between 20,000 and 6,000 babies per year. And so if that's true, it's than one babies born a year. And again, these estimates, you have some thousand. You got more than just a minute. First, let me thank a sponsor and say, calendar affects my dream. Stuff to do tomorrow, decision making. So tomorrow, definitely. That's why today's sponsor, antibiotic, alcohol, probiotic, pretty packed. This makes sense. It makes Cbiotics free alcohol. First, invented by PhD scientists after drinking. So when you drink, alcohol gets converted. That's to blame 5 days after drinking. Just remember to make free alcohol. Drink responsibly. That's tomorrow. Use it for things that I find it's done. It's already got a spot in my one less thing that shows over. It's not for you. Barbecue, think weekends, fun times, whatever. So keep your good times rolling. Stay by making free alcohol. Drink of the night. Just head to Addicts /DeFranco and Disco DeFranco. 15% off your scan that QR code to get started. Then right back. So you got two things. Spread from me. You should probably know. First, there's one little parasite that causes explosive diarrhea. CDC counting 100 cases in 17 states so far, and we have no idea where this came from, exactly how it's spreading. Second, seemingly democratic socialism, because following Zoran Sweep and the primary back candidates, ESA members, right, everyone was asking the question, can this work in the country? Well, the answer for everywhere right now is not the answer there. Yes. Milan Kira, socialist Ethiopian immigrant, former barista, lawyer, and doctor. See, was endorsed by Bernie Sanders, taking the nomination to Denver.
We will not wait to take the fight to Donald Trump.
Certain next year, the first Gen Z woman. And also, she took down facing it's kind of standout here. Yeah, she's a 68-year-old. And actually, when she selection in 6, Kuros hadn't even born yet. Well, again, it was establishment pick. She wasn't a centrist. She's actually progressive. She even got endorsed by Paul. It's like Kuros, favor of medical. There, get argument. She could actually pass because assuming that she was chair of the subcommittee, whereas but she said, well, he post seniority, which is and even Kuros counter saying that seniority doesn't count for industry. Well, looking into it, yeah, it's true. I think this contract, pharmaceutical company, those types of donations account for campaign finance rates. Securos really did on that.
Frankly, sometimes the thing that nations and special interests get out of domain isn't pro legislation on their front. Sometimes it's just that they sit there and keep a seat warm. It is the least effective delegation
Measured.
by the Center of Effective Law.
Yeah, the Center for Effective Lawmaking ready to get below average for 8 of her terms.
No,
Above average for only one.
I don't know if I
Well, again,
saved.
she tried to defend her record and say, hey, what is healthcare campaign finance that were really that were this race? So the big one that we saw here and we've also seen elsewhere is not so much staunch defender of state but because Kiros made it such a central part of the campaign. But a story that she got picked was a law firm used to recant a letter to 7th. Kiros in that Israel and apartheid state criticizing her law firm's response to law students and accusing it of relating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. Also on the note of anti-Semitism, Kiros herself was accused of it after this particular moment. She did recently. We had an interview asking her about the deadly firebombing, auto demanding piece of his written messages, and some felt that her answer was wishy-washy.
Was that fire attack on them? Semitism.
I don't know. Traitor that he went innocent people because of might have, and I don't even know that we're at that just believe. In fact, most of them were just there to ask that kidnapped during 7th be returned home to their family. It's not a statement itself. I think the fact that we're having a conversation about Semitism is, a political debate that everyone has the freedom to have, but to me it was a loss of innocent life, regardless of what the traitor had in mind. Took those lives.
But also after the blow up from that Wall Street Journal that did it to combat Semitism and have been misunderstood, saying I did call it a hate crime, happened in a horrific attack on a group of people peacefully protesting. And over the debate around this is not Denver vote. Not only Kiros beat again, she won. So right now, ESA members got black heroes, Claire is Yay and Chris Rad, which triples the number of self-declared democratic socialists joining Rashida Tlaib and AOC. And then one of the things you have are the voices that are really trying to lift these people up. There, to Sanders and now it's on Piker, because not only was your birthday in New York getting on the vote
That's not my way
last
off.
week, he did the same in Denver, even personally not.
All right, listen, that is strict 30 years saying
That's still
nothing
it's still
about the data center. She's in the pocket of big corporations. They like Kira fight back on the data center market. She got Sanders center get propped up left and right. You guys are stuck between a factory, data center, and that's not good. Guys back there. You only have till 7 o'clock. Do you have a ballot in your house?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys see that? Brought up the data center. She said, straight up, that's a voter.
Internet name behind his community reportedly tanked over and calls for in just 3 days.
But now, opportunity for something. Have the opportunity for something. No more expenditures that dealt millions that tried to defend after we say no more.
Side was important. It wasn't the only win. So left. Now meaning moderate. Some high points.
To the son of a song filling out food stamp and Medicaid McDonald's to go on and become an economist in the serve in the state house, now become your nominee for Congress. And
But a short thing there. He's going to be vying for Colorado's competitive congressional seat in general. Right? He'll be going up against sitting Republican Dave Evans. And that's simply one that's going to be important. So while it's definitely not a situation, one of the interesting things that's come from the primaries are the push for people that are than kind of the more moderate candidates these days, or whether it be the push for more this or DSA candidates or still do as much as they're sort of nation, or do people generally stick to their teams? So this whole conversation, I think, is probably the end of the since the problem here was seen as always the state's getting some benefit for the nation that was definitely seen as an upset because it's a clear picture. And but since they were largely on the same page when it comes to see one of the was over be better at Dude Wiser, and Trump's cabinet. Some lawsuits against the administration as AG. Well, at least so I think they're going to be the next position. State support leader, Senator John Hickenlooper, Gonzalez, a PSA member, signed by as well. But even there, the base ended up especially raised by 7-1. So that's why I'm saying there are signs of socialists and progressives that are beginning to present real threat to the whole democratic establishment, at least the leadership. And apparently is accurate. So you have Axios now, which privately called them down this week and the closed meetings with Palestinian activists. Axios and the relationship with Micah a run. And then more than just a minute, thank a sponsor and say, brain down. It helps me skip the 2-minute argument. Start work. Brain down. It's not just background. It's audio scientists to help your brain focus, create, relax, sleep, whatever you need. It uses patented phase lock. Basically, audio that's designed to help your brain stay locked in. Email. It also adapts to you. You adjust the neural effect level, depending on facts or you're feeling, which I will say is something I appreciate because some days my brain needs it much, and then other days it needs someone to say, no, finishing this first. And they've got modes for creativity, relaxation, sleep, power naps, even an ADHD specific mode for brains that need an extra push. Unlike regular playlists that fight for your attention, Brain.fm aids into the background so you can focus. It's also the only music app backed by National Science Foundation studying how sound affects focus. So if your brain keeps trying to renegotiate your to-do list, go to brain.fm/Franco or scan that QR screen to get days free. That's brain.fm/Franco. 3 months to see what it feels like when you're science school. Then, of course, for your final block, you need to know. Starting with the news that Idaho just became the first state to make death by squad its main method of execution. It ended up spending $1 to build a death chamber, maximum security with $4,000 AR style. These shooters, whose identities have been set to fire on their death row inmates. Previously, had their governor signing this into law last year, and now that you've got the death chamber just in time to go into effect, you're seeing people out there state barbarity and labeling the squads. But then also on the other side, you have supporters pay to avoid executions I've seen from prisons, be able to get rejections or process argument squads are certain that get justice for the victims and the families in an expeditious manner than others. The idea being that a squad is a specific part that kills you in seconds. So it can just simply miss their target and they can suffering for who knows how long. Actually, with that, last year, my basic squad of back in his day came by squad missed their target, leaving excruciating pain and suffering. And on top of that, 3 shooters, but was only hit by 2 bullets. Something that a friend said was extraordinarily. So it's some that a firing squad intentionally bombed. And you got folks like who studied execution practices, raising questions about it, quasi-lynching, asking officers in a southern state intentionally. So the historical record suggests this is far from a question. So you have execution practices say we tend to forget that human beings are human beings have emotions and feelings, such as wanting to set things right, revenge. Also, people who did a mock squad at a church. So not something the 2026 bingo card. This viral video coming up. Then you see simulated commandos lining up kids, pointing weapons at a figure and staging a full squad execution. Make it crazier, they're leading the kid and of taking him out. The weapons fire and the kid and immediately slamming his calling it. Completely over the line. Following this backlash, you had Mr. Dwayne 7-minute video to defense. And you're saying that actually part of a 8-year-old team called Commandos for Christ and/or Scouts for Jesus, called it both things at various times. The person that's being executed, it's actually not a human being. It's a representation of the devil, he said. Walker literally said